What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Weather Ball Pokemon team. Okay, this is for Patreon. If you want your thing done, you can check it out in the description of the video. Random man, this one is for you. Alright, so summing this team up real easy. Pokemon that had Weather Ball, and I was going to try and use the move Weather Ball as much as I possibly could. And I also wanted to make the weather conditions different so I could use different kinds of Weather Balls. Okay, that sounded really wrong. Leave your theme team suggestions in the comment section below. As usual, people, if you've enjoyed this series, give that like button a little bit of love. Okay, so we have a Ekans lead here. Also, if you want to battle me, that's on my description of the video and my chat there and stuff. This is against Eckhart. Okay, so we have a Ekans lead here. Eckhart has got a Ekans. Anyway, so it's going to go for the wrap on my Cherubi here. It might be like a toxic wrap set, trapping him in there. Going for the sunny day here. So this team was quite a fair bit of base around weather because I needed the Weather Ball to be certain types. Now, Weather Ball is a attack you can use normally with the 50 base power, but when you have the Weather Ball up, the weather up, and Weather Ball hits in the weather, it can be any of the weathers too, it goes to 100 base power there, so it's quite an interesting move. However, a lot of the time here, I wanted to make use of the Weather Ball, so it was quite tricky. It's like I wanted to set up all the different environments there for it. Okay, so Ekans lives on like a dick of health, and it's gonna. Some of our Pokemon were for Little Cup too, so that's why I had a Little Cup item. Mine had some Little Cup EVs too, so I had to grab some of them. So if you see like a not item, like an orange berry or a berry juice, that is the reason. Okay, so nearly taking the Ekans out. I'm so salty I didn't get that kill there. I thought it was a Focus Sash for a sec. Anyway, so going for another Weather Ball, that's going to be enough to take out the Ekans there. Okay, now, here I was in a pretty good spot there. I had my Chlorophyll. This was a max special attack, max speed Cherubi there. Alright, so we have the Lillipup coming in here, and obviously with the Chlorophyll ability, doubling my speed in the sun. Okay, so going for the Weather Ball here again. Obviously now that's a Fire-type base move, so it's in the sun, which makes Weather Ball into a Fire-type move there. Okay, so unfortunately there, Lillipup's going to get a boost there from the sun, and it's going to hit me with the Fire Fang there. So I was kind of worried because this was like really strong against most of my team. Okay, so bringing in Drifloon here. So I knew that it probably would go for Fire Fang again because since it's getting a boost from the sun. Can't go for any normal type moves there either. So going for the Rain Dance here, which is going to change the type of the Weather Ball that I want to use too. On this I had Weather Ball, I had Destiny Bond, I also had Thunder, I had a couple of other moves like that too. There, I didn't have like, some of them I didn't have 4 moves on, I just wanted to mainly use Weather Ball. Okay, so going for the Weather Ball, which is now a Water type because the rain is happening, and that is Lillipup down, also powering down that Fire Fang too, which is good. Okay, so we got Togemon coming out here. That Digimon reference. So, I remember watching Digimon all the time as a kid. Alright, so it's going to go for Sucker Punch, which I found pretty obvious there. So going for the Destiny Bond here. So I was thinking, well, I can't really hit it with Weather Ball there. I'm going to have to swap out here because it's going to be able to have the ability to absorb that. So swapping in for Mantis here. Now for Mantis, actually, I had the wrong item on this when I actually was meant to put Citrus Bear on this, right? And I put Salic Bear in there, so I actually got a drop because of Contra. So I was like, oh my god, like it took me 2 battles to realize that. Anyway, so setting up the sunny day there again. So I want to use the Weather Ball on Mantis and turn it into a Fire type. Now it's going to go for the Pin Missile here, and that's going to do loads of damage to me there. And I was meant to eat my Salic Berry before, but I ate my Citrus Berry, but I ate my Salic Berry instead, so I go down there. So I'm like, oh, that really sucks. Okay, so I've got to get back into this battle. I'm getting beaten by a Cacnea. So swapping in Bellsprout now. Now Bellsprout was a mixed attacker. I had a Focus Sash for this. I had Sunny Day, I had Weather Ball, and I also had Power Whip on this. Prominently, though, I wanted to use Weather Ball because that's what the team was going by. I did have a couple of other attacks in case I got, like, seriously walled and that sort of thing. Alright, so Cacnea's going to go for the Needle Arm, not doing too much there. Doesn't really matter. I had a Sash. I mean, it could have hit me, like, 5 times with the Pin Missile, but, that's probably, there was quite a low chance of that. Anyway, so I'm going to live that one quite badly there. Getting the Weather Ball off, that's going to be enough to take out the Cacnea there, so that's good. This had the Chlorophyll ability too, so I could, double my speed in the sunshine. Okay, so we have the Houndour coming out here, which was a really big threat here. I had to go for Sleep Powder here. That was my only option. So my 4th move there was the Sleep Powder. Okay, so putting that to sleep. Now, I also had Sleep Powder on one of my other Pokemon that's not in this battle, that's in the next one. So I thought Sleep Out would be handy in case I come across any speedy fire types. And I knew that stuff like if sun was up, like Weather Ball wasn't going to actually take them out. So swapping in Drifloon here, I need to get that Rain Dance up so I can go for the Weather Ball in the rain there, or maybe even go for a Destiny Bomb. And also power down all its fire type moves. Okay, so it's going to stay asleep there, which is good. I was really praying that it didn't wake up because I know that it's got dark type moves too if it can't use its fire type moves. Okay, so the rain is up, which is good. So at least I can swap a Pokemon in and use Weather Ball and get that that water Weather Ball there right off the bat. Okay, so now it's going to wake up and go for Nasty Plot, which tells me, okay, it's got something like Focus Sash. Definitely there. It's too risky to set up on a Drifloon there with a with an obvious Weather Ball gear coming. Okay, so I went for Destiny Bomb there. It's going to outspeed me. So I was like, oh crap, this is not going to tickle. So obviously it only had Flamethrower there as it's an offensive move there, which sucks for the Houndour. However, I get burned there, and I'm going to eat a berry here, which is going to give me so much health back. This is an orange berry, so obviously remember I was playing with Little Cup items, so normally that would have a citrus berry. So I went between Little Cup and level 50 there. All right, so going for the Weather Ball there, that's going to take it all the way down to its Focus Sash. So here I was thinking, well, I'm going to go down to the next attack, which is fine, but I did burn its Focus Sash off there, and it is raining, so that Flamethrower is going to get powered down. However, it was a speed tie there, so I just went for Thunder to finish it off. I didn't actually think that I was going to outspeed it, so it was a speed tie there, so I got pretty lucky there. But however, my Drifloon is going to go down the next turn to just the burn damage there. Okay, so we had the Phantom coming in here. There wasn't too much I could do to it. I could go for Weather Ball. I could go for the Destiny Bomb. I thought it'd be too obvious to go for the Destiny Bomb because it could just go for something, I'm not sure, just a status move there and I would die to the burn. However, it's going to go for an attacking move there, going for the Horn Leech there, which is going to be enough to take out my Drifloon there. So that's fine. I mean, I could have gone for a swap or something like that, but I thought, nah, it'd be too obvious, but clearly it wasn't. Okay, so we have Bellsprout left, which I thought would be a good swap in here. I wasn't sure what else it could do to me. I had suspicions, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, so going for the sunny day there, we need to get those Weather Balls happening, people. So we got the sun up. The whole idea with this team, right, the weakness was not only that I was using pretty weak Pokemon, I had to get that weather out right to use the Weather Ball, and I wanted to use all the different weathers. So it took quite a few battles and that sort of thing there. Too. And a lot of, sometimes I even got some Sandstorm Weather Balls off. I always found that strange it didn't have, a cast form for that. Anyway, so going for the Weather Ball there in the sun, and it's probably just enough to take it out there. I thought it actually would live if it's I'd say it would have been like a bulky one there. Okay, so the last Pokemon is the Skitty. I know Skitty gets normalized and things like that, and it's lots of priority like Fake Out and Sucker Punch, so I just let Bellsprout die there. That was cool. I still had two other Pokemon to deal with the mighty Skitty. Okay, so swapping in Snorunt here. Now, Snorunt this was actually a tanky Snorunt there. It was a scummy, moody set there with Everlight. Now, Skitty's going to go for a return there, which is not going to do too much to me there at all. I'm running max health and max defense on this set. Also got Weather Ball, Rest Sleep Talker, and Toxic set. Okay, so that's not doing too much there. Obviously, it didn't have much in offense there, so kind of relying on... I normally don't run Moody, but it was sort of just a fun one that I had, and I thought, let's give it a go. Okay, so swapping out Snorunt, not doing lots of damage there, so I thought, let's swap in Cast Form here, and we can make use of that. I can either go for the Inferno... so let me explain there if you don't know what Weather Ball does with the Z move. So I put a Normalium Z on Cast Form, right? And since it's sunny, it transforms into a sunny type form there. So, but when you use the Normalium Z Weather Ball in the sun, rain, or ice, or hail, it'll go on dependent what the the environment. So in the sun, it'll go for the fire one. Hail will go for the ice one. Raining will go for the water type one. So it's pretty cool. I get to showcase all of those in this battle too. Two battles and one at the end. Okay, so going for the rain dance here, I was like, bugger it, let's go and see. I want to go for the water type one. Skitty's going to be an assist set, which is pretty cool. Now, I have to do an assist team. It is on the list. I will update that list too, people. Don't worry. It'll eventually happen. I will get around to it. When I get the QR code scanning thing so you guys can start using my teams, that'll be around the time where I finish it. Then it gets the pin missile. I'm like, damn, son. It does a fairly decent amount of damage there for each hit. I was hoping it didn't get 5 hits because that would be really bad. And obviously it's turning into the normal type too, so it's getting stabbed from that. Okay, so they've got the Leech Seed up there. I got to finish this thing. I was going to get KO'd by a Skitty, and it's getting the Leech Seed back. So I'm going to go for the Z Weather Ball here. So since it's in the water, I'm going to do my water type Z move, and that is going to hit really, really hard there for the cast form. Now, this cast form was max speed, max special attack, timid nature. I mean, you can go modest, but it kind of does need timid to outspeed things there. But this is going to be way too much for a Skitty to live, and I was going to be really salty if it did live, but I was very confident that it wouldn't be able to live this one. And that is the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let's get to the second battle here anyways. So in this battle, I used the Bulbasaur instead of the Cherubi. I wanted to use a couple of other like Pokemon there too. There's actually a surprising amount of Pokemon that use Weather Ball. The Bulbasaur, however, didn't have the Weather Ball. It had the Solar Beam instead. Okay, so leading with that anyway, this was quite an interesting lead. So it's going to go for the, Curly is going to go for the trick here on my Bulbasaur. Now, that's going to trick me a choice specs. I was like, oh, bugger. So I went for the sleep powder there, putting that to sleep, and I actually gave it the focus sash. So I was like, well, I put the Curlier asleep at the cost of me being locked into choice specs. So that's not too bad. I might be able to make use of the choice spec Solar Beam later on. Okay, so swapping in Driftlane here, I need to get the weather happening. Okay, so it's going to be a staying and be asleep. Now, as I said, I want to go for the Rain Dance here so I can start firing off some Weather Balls. I already know that it's got a Focus Sash, so I'm going to have to go for at least 2 Weather Balls to take out this Curlier. I wasn't sure that it was going to be a bulky special defensive, Curlier either, but it didn't have Everlight, so it would be like super bulky there. All right, anyway, so going for the Weather Ball here against the Curlier. I know that it's got the Focus Sash there. I was wondering if is it going to take it down to it, and it doesn't. It just misses out. It wakes up and goes for the skill swap there. So what skill swap is going to swap our abilities. It had synchronized, and I had unburden there with my berry. What unburden does, it makes you your speed ×2 after you've consumed your item there. Okay, so you can either, that includes things like berries, normal gem, those kind of things. However, upon doing that, if you swap out, you lose your unburden boost. If you get another item, like someone tricks you with an item, you lose your unburden boost there. So some little things there if you didn't realize. Okay, so going for Destiny Bond here against Boldor. This thing's probably going to be quite defensive. It's going to set up a Stealth Rock. So I'm like, bugger. I could have got a Weather Ball kill there, but I know that Boldor does have Sturdy. Like, I knew that. All right, so going for Weather Ball, not playing any games here. I just want to try and take this thing down to that. It may have gone for an attacking move this time. It's going to have the Sturdy like I thought there. And it's going to go for the Stone Edge against my Drifloon, taking me out there for sure there. But that's all good. I mean, I could have attacked the first turn, but that's fine. That's how it was. Okay, so it's got Sturdy, and it's got Leftovers too. I thought it could have like something like Citrus, but Leftovers could work on it too. Even, Everlight there as well. Okay, so swapping in Bulbasaur here. I'm going to take a little bit of Stealth Rock damage from that. The rain has gone away, so I just went for the Sunny Day here. I know that I'm choice specs, but I thought I could swap it in just to get some, set up my other team members there. Maybe I could use it for that. Now, it's going to miss me with the Stone Edge there. I say I probably would have lived that kind of really super badly, but it could have critted me as well, which, is always a possibility. So, Bulbasaur can't do anything. It's choice spec Sunny Day, new meta. So, swapping in for Mantis here. Now, for Mantis has got, on this, it's got Weather Ball, Leaf Storm. It's also got Sunny Day on there too, so it's just got a little bit of other offense there, and it's got the Contrary as well. So we have the Corsola coming here. I went for the Leaf Storm, it misses. I'm like, no! Then it's going to go for the Spike Cannon against Fomantis here. Now, Spike Cannon is obviously a multi-turn hit there, and it can hit between a couple of stages there. So in this battle, I actually remembered to bring my Citrus Berry. I was like, thank God there. It's going to hit me up to 4 times with that Spike Cannon there. So if I didn't have my Citrus Berry, I was toast. Okay, so go for a Leaf Storm again, and it misses twice in a row. I'm like, what the fuck? And then this is going to take me out with a Spike Cannon. I'm like, oh, I'm so salty right now. So that's my Fomantis down. I couldn't have gone for the Weather Ball there because it was sunny, and it resists that heavily. So swapping a Bulbasaur here is like, bugger it. Let's go for the Solar Beam. I'm spec Solar Beam. The sun's up. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Corsola. Okay, so we have Space Bug swapping in this time. This is the Beautifly here. So that's gonna kind of like resist it heavily, and I was like worried about what it was going to do there. I didn't have much to actually swap into it. So it does pretty good damage there considering it resists it. Obviously that choice specs helped me out a lot there. So the sun does fade there. Then it's going to go for a normal gem Giga Impact. Like, what the fuck? And that's going to definitely take out my Bulbasaur there. So I was glad I didn't swap anything else into that. Bulbasaur had become pretty dead weight with that choice specs trick to it earlier on in the game. Okay, so swapping in cast form now. We need to get that weather happening again. Taking a little bit of Stealth Rock's damage. It was on a Giga Impact recharge too. Not playing any games at all, getting rid of this thing. I didn't want to get like swept by a Giga Impact Beautifly. So I go for the Blizzard taking it out there. Thank God it hits. Okay. Weather Ball would not have been enough to actually take it out there too. So Jawbreaker's going to come in here. Going for the Rain Dance here. I was confident I could barely live maybe a 1 Stone Edge there, depending on what EVs and attack it was running. If it was running like fully invested in attack, there was no way I was living that one. So anyway, I thought that it'd be good to go into water as well, because the ice, going for the hail, form would have been like super effective. Okay, so I take that one, which is good there. It's going to get a little bit of left road recovery, but that's cool. I can go for the Weather Ball here, finish it off there, and I've still got my Z move intact there. Whether I can use that on something later, was yet to be determined. Okay, so Jawbreaker is going to get its jaw broken, and that is going to go down. So we have a pretty even battle at the moment. Now this is where the problems start to happen. So Pingu comes out here. There's nothing I can do here. So go for Hail. None of my moves can really do much to it at all. Like all of my weather type moves, like Weather Ball, like all the Weather Balls do like nothing to it. So I've got the water one, even the ice one, and the fire one. They all do nothing. So it's really, really tricky for my Castform to get around this. Okay, so now it's going to go for the Aqua Ring there. So it could be definitely a bulky Everlight set, for sure. Okay, so it is taking damage to the Hail. That's why I did go for that there. However, it's going to have the Aqua Ring to restore that Hail damage. Then it goes for Bite. I'm like, oh, man, this is not good. I went for my Z move there because I thought, bugger it, I might as well just do some damage to it before it takes me out there. So going for my Z move. Now, obviously, it's hailing now, so I'm going to go for the Ice type move there from the Castform. It goes into its Ice Cloak too, which is really cool. So that turns into, the Breakneck Blitz turns into the Sub-Zero Slammer. Okay, so that doesn't do too much to it at all, really. It's like super, super bulky. I mean, it didn't actually have too much to take this out. Okay, so that Bite is going to come back at me like double time. So I thought, well, like, I'm not sure. Like, maybe I should just let Castform die and let my 2 other Pokemon pick up the slack there. I cannot do too much I could do a bit to the Casola, but I think I'm going to like lose to it. So here I decided to go for the Rain now. Okay, so setting up the Rain there for my other Pokemon. Okay, so I've got that one set up. Now, this thing was just going to sit in here and wait for the Unleash Energy to come. So going into my, just transforming into my Water type form now. Okay, so Unleash Energy gets priority on the 3rd turn after using it. It's going to hit me for double damage and take out my Castform there. But that's fine. That's all good. Castform did its job in this battle. You know, what I wanted it to do. Okay, so this is where things got, like, quite interesting here. So swapping in Bellsprout, I know that I can go for the Power Whip on this thing, and that would be my best play against it to take it out. And I know that it's not as bulky in defense as it is in special defense. Okay, so we have the Brioni coming out here. I was like, Power Whip, and it misses. I'm like, oh, that was such an important miss. Okay, so I go for the Sleep Powder, and it misses. I'm like, what the fuck? So now it's going to go for another Aqua Ring here and heal itself. So that was... I've had some misses. These grass-type moves. I've had 2 Leaf Storm misses. Then I finally get the Power Whip off here, so I'm like, yay, this is going to go down. And it lives. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Now it's going to go for Aqua Ring. That obviously was definitely a misclick there. They were going for a Scold, apparently, there, which was good. Not that it would have done a hell of a lot to me there, but that burn chance there. So going for the Weather Ball here. I didn't really want to miss that, the Power Whip again, and it does absolutely donkey bullshit nothing there. That Scald, did you see that Scald? That went out to the right and somehow still hit Bellsprout in the face. So at this point, I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to get rid of this thing. I'm sick of this grass moves missing. Power Whip misses again. I'm like, what? This is bullshit. Then they go for a substitute. That must have been like 1 health away from it. What the hell is going on in this battle? So go for a Power Whip again. Finally, I land against Brioni. I'm like, holy shit. Like, damn. So it's going to go down there to that Power Whip. So this is good. This is good. I'm a little bit salty, but it's all good. So now comes out the Casola. It's like, cool. Power Whip is going to be 4 times against this. This is easy. Power Whip misses. I'm like, what? Then it's going to go for a Sky Uppercut, a Spike Cannon, and that's going to be enough to take out my Bellsprout. Man, that is just BS. Okay, so swapping in Storat, the last Pokemon on my team here. Now, I was a little bit worried about Head Smash there from the Casola or any type Rock type move there. However, Coral is going to get swapped out here, and we have the Pingus. I'm like, well, that's not too bad because I know what this thing is. It's a Bide. It's just going to use Bide, so I went for Toxic there. So, if you use any status type moves, Unleash Energy obviously fails there, even if it does damage to them like Toxic. Okay, so we got the Toxic up. Things are looking pretty good there. I know if that Casola didn't have like if it didn't have like a Rock type move, I was in with a good chance there. I could use Toxic against it there, and I also had Rest to heal off any of my damage in case the opposing Casola had any status type moves like that as well. Okay, so this is where I was quite confident here after that, that salty Bellsprout there and that Fermentus. So it's going to set up the Aqua Ring there, which is, that's fine. It's going to starve off the toxic damage a little bit, but, inevitably it's going to go down to the toxic. That's what I was thinking at this point in the game. However, I was wondering, does this have any recovery outside Aqua Ring? Does it have any, does it have a rest or something like that? Then it used rest. I'm like, no, there's no way I can win this. It's going to have to be like a PP Stalwart. However, there's no way the Pimpnite was going to be able to take me out either. So it was going to go on for like a million turns. I was wondering, what the hell are we going to do here? So going for the Sleep Talk there. Anyway, since we've both got Sleep Talk rest, we are conserving like a lot of PP because obviously Sleep Talk, doesn't use the PP of the move. It uses a Sleep Talk instead. Okay, so Weather Ball does absolutely nothing here. So at this point, I was like, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We may have to, what are we going to do here? We're going to call this one like a draw, or we're just going to keep going for a little while and see what happens. Anyway, so going for the Sleep Talk here. Again, trying to get some moves. So I get rest, I've never seen that one before. Pingu is going to go for the rest as well, and it's going to go for the Sleep Talk. So we're both rest Sleep Talkers, and we both cannot do anything to each other. So they basically, I'm not sure that Pimpnite's been watching my videos a bit, it gets a rest. So Moody there was not really helping me too much. I needed like a +6 and Moody to actually even take this thing out. That's what I was hoping, to get like a +6 and Moody and then start hitting with Weather Balls. But it probably wouldn't do enough anyway, because this is like super bulky. Okay, so 2 rests in a row. After this time, I was like, we both decided to actually call this one a draw, and both just hit the run button at the same time. So it was a good battle, and man, some of those misses, I couldn't believe that, that luck, on some of them, damn. Anyways, I just recorded the last bit just to show that we actually did tie the battle, but I hope you guys enjoyed both of these, and enjoy the bloopers.